Welcome to CSS Flexbox. We're going to learn about the Navbar today, and we're going to talk about what a Flexbox actually does. And so over here, I'm going to always type down the code so that you guys understand what's going on. So anytime I make a Navbar, I always do the same thing. The HTML, it'll always going to be ULs combined with LIs. So what we're going to do here is that we're going to put the nav, we're going to have ULs, and then we're going to have LIs. Now, which Navbar we're going to build today? So I'm going to take this website, Bay Area Learning Center. And so what this is that I see an image right here, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 text. And we're going to see how easy it is to build a Navbar using Flexbox. So the first thing that we're going to do is that we're going to get the logo. So I'm just going to do right click, copy image location. I'm going to paste it right here with the image. Okay. And so we see that it's really big, so let's go ahead and fix that. So I'm going to put a class, and let's just call this logo. We're going to call that class, and let's just say that the height would be 80 pixels. The width will be 80 pixels. And that looks pretty good. And then from here, we're going to have to put in all the text. So we got like 6 more of these. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the first one is going to be home. The next one will be tutoring. Next one will be after school classes. Next one will be video. About us. And then contact us. And so the first question is, what does actually Flexbox actually do? So if I just do display flex, what it by default, what it actually does is that instead of it going up and down the text, it goes left and right. So this Flexbox, it only works if we call on the parent and its direct children. So from right here, I'm actually going to want to call out the parent. So I know that I want this entire container, this entire UL, and all the LIs to go left and right instead of it going up and down. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to do display and then flex. And you can see instead of going all up and down, it now goes left and right, which is what I want. And then from here, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to want some color. So what I'm going to do to get the color is I'm going to create a nav. So I'm going to call out the entire navbar. And the entire navbar, I'm going to have the background color as blue. And the next thing I'm going to want to do is that I'm going to want the text to be white. So let's get some more space. So I want the UL's LIs. So what this is saying is I'm going to grab the parent UL. I'm going to grab all the children's LIs. And I want all the colors to be white. And I also want the font sizes to be bigger. So I'm going to do font size 30 pixels. Alright, so what's currently wrong with it right now is that there's no spacing, like anywhere. So let's figure out a way to create spacing. So I see from this right here that there's spacing here, spacing on top, spacing on bottom, and there's huge spacing on the right. So let's go ahead and go to the logo. And we're going to create padding. So the first one is padding on top. So let's just say padding on top is 10 pixels. Let's say padding on the right over here is 300 pixels. Padding down bottom would be 10 pixels. And then padding on the left would be 80 pixels. Alright. So it's starting to kind of look like this. Close. So next I'm going to look at this right here. So I know I want to create padding for all of these LIs right here. And what I'm going to do is that I want all the ULs, LI to have padding to the right so that there's space in between each one. So I'm going to do padding right. And let's just say it's going to be 50 pixels. And so it created padding to the right of all the LIs that I see. So now what I'm going to do is that I don't want all this to be on top. So on Flexbox, there's a certain property, and that's called align items. And what align item does is that it focuses on the up and down. And if I want to put it in the center, I just had to put center. So I'm going to go to the parent UL that says display flex. And if I want all this text to be centered in the middle, I just call out align items center. Alright, so let's double check our work. So you can see from right here, it pretty much looks the same as the Bay Area Learning Center's header. So to recap, to make a Flexbox navbar, for all navbars, we always have to use ULs combined with LIs, which looks something like this. We do display flex, so what it does is that instead of it going up and down, it makes it go left and right. And Flexbox, it only works on the parent and its direct children. So I'm going to have to call Flexbox from the UL, and then what it does is that it flexes all the LIs. If I call it from the navbar, it doesn't work because it goes to the direct children, which is the UL, and then nothing happens. And then the last step is I do align item center. And what align item center does is that it centers all the up and down in the middle.